very nondescript trailhead, but very convenient resupply options. Hey, good morning everybody. I'm in sort of an obscure, out of the way, unmarked location this morning. I'm in Eastern Virginia at the Dahlgren Railroad Heritage Trail. As it sounds, it's an old rail line that used to run from King George, Virginia, from the site of an existing power plant out to the Naval Surface Weapons Center in Dahlgren. That line is defunct. I believe it used to also have connections into the Richmond and Fredericksburg rail line. Anyway, this isn't fully a rail trail yet. It's being lobbied, it's being created, and there's a nonprofit foundation that has been developed to kind of promote the idea of this as a linear park, you know, a one-way stretch of greenway along this old railroad. As of now, it's permit only to be here. So I've done that, and I've gotten permission to come back and check the place out. It's 15.5 miles long. Now obviously it's flat, so because it's a railroad, but yeah, very out of the way. It literally started off on a dirt road next to a Sheetz gas station on Route 301, and I don't know quite what to expect or what I'm going to find, but I will let you know. This is one of the challenges with repurposing rail right-of-ways. Folks who live in this neighborhood, were this to become a public park, have ready access to a park. On the other hand, they've got public access to essentially their backyard, and who knows who wandering around back here. So, you know, residents kind of have typically love-hate relationships with stuff like this. Now, to be honest, I don't know what specifically these residents in this area feel about this park. I haven't really looked into the politics and the local discussion on, you know, whether this place has support to move forward or not. I know that some years ago there was an attempt to sell the right-of-way back to private landowners, and that was blocked, so it is protected. But exactly what its status is moving forward and what kind of support it has, I don't know. It's the first sign I've seen that this is an actual trail. We're more than a mile in. Evidence that this is once a railroad. Starting to see piles of ties on the side of the trail here. So I'm about 4 miles in from the east end, and the road noise has almost finally died away. I don't know that I'm ever going to get away from it completely. This sort of parallels some major roads, though at a distance, but it's really apparent how much a noise footprint we make with cars. Anyway, now the birds are out. I just spooked a deer a little while ago. In and out between farms and woods, and I caught a glimpse of the Potomac just way off in the distance here a little bit ago. So it's a nice walk so far. The swamp is frozen. Otherwise this looks like a place Shrek might live. We're actually looking at the bottom of a root ball of a fallen tree. It's pretty cool. Rail trails are kind of neat. I'm up on a berm, I don't know, probably 40 feet above the creek valley. And a minute ago I was in a notch that was cut out and I couldn't see on either side because there were 40-foot bluffs on either side. You know, they're just not like the normal trail. This is a transportation route. It was built for, you know, getting stuff most efficiently from point to point. So very straight, but the levelness is kind of cool. It just plows, cuts right through everything. And if you're, you know, if you're trying to get a point to point and feel like you covered some territory, there's absolutely no or very little deviation from your direct route on a trail like this. I've always kind of liked railroads because you know, they go through familiar places in totally different ways, and you kind of see the backs of, you know, neighborhoods and establishments that you see from the front when you're in a car. It's kind of neat. So I know I'm gonna pop out at a road here in a minute and go, oh, that's where I am. So it's just, I'm digging this place. It's kind of cool. Here's an example of being in a cut like I'm at, and a bridge for Route 218. I think this is the only major road crossing this trail has. A pleasant surprise, I don't have to dodge traffic. It's kind of cool. Beautiful through here around milepost 9. There's been a lake and a marsh intermittently behind me there on that side, the south side, for quite a while. And now I've got some here on the north side as well. And the trail, of course, just on a berm between them. Pretty neat. Well, this is a surprise. Little picnic area, campfire ring. Cool. We might actually just have some lunch here. That was an unexpected surprise to find this little picnic area, so I stopped early, fueled up. It is now 11:30. And I'm about 9 miles in, I think, something like that. Oh, look at this. They've even got little hitching posts. I don't know why you'd need that instead of just a tree, but I'm not a horsey type, so maybe that's preferred. Anyway, so I gotta say I was wrong about getting away from the roads. Ever since, oh, I'll say milepost 11.5, maybe, just the other side of the 218 bridge. It's really felt very remote. Now, obviously there was traffic going across the bridge, but after that, you know, maybe a farm or two, but then you know, it's getting up into this flooded creek valley with like wetland after wetland after wetland. And you know, nobody's built back up in here. It's I've gone a good 4 miles now and not seen a structure. I think the most that I've seen man-made has been a bench. Yeah, it's really really pretty back up in here. And oh, by the way, I think you heard the geese, hawks, ospreys, woodpeckers, and I had a couple of bald eagles fly over. In addition to, you know, squirrels everywhere, deer sign. I've seen some coyote sign, some scat with lots of fur in it. So yeah, a lot of, it's surprisingly remote. This is really cool. So I'll summarize. Both sides of the trail here for the next period here are owned by the Northern Virginia Gun Club. You can see the little red sign, red and white in the background there. And I just heard gunshots. Yeah. So there are ranges here. The warning is don't leave the trail. Okay, here we go. It's okay, they're shooting away from me. Phew! I made it. This is kind of a shame. It's the second area I've walked through that's invaded by kudzu. It's an invasive vine from Asia that just strangles and kills everything. And you can see it's brought down trees through here. And then the sunlight just feeds it. It just keeps growing. If we were here in the summer, this would just be a dark green, all the same stuff on top of everything. Nice pile of ties. You notice as you walk along here, there's a lot of them still in the trail. Regular intervals, you'll just see a slab of half-rotten wood. And there's piles of ties all along through this section. So I'm down less than 1 mile on a 16-mile walk. I'll call that the home stretch. I found this place on Google Earth, actually, or not Google Earth, or Google Maps is where I found it. Just saw the straight line cut, you know, sort of obvious man-made thing, and a note that said King George Rail Trail. Couldn't find that anywhere, but I looked up on railstotrails.org, trail link, and they indicated that, yeah, this was here, but it was under construction, it wasn't real yet, and permit only, and here's how you get one. So I went there and I found the guy and I sent off a note and got an official permit back. Good for a year. Well, I was expecting, you know, kind of not this. I mean, this is a really nice and mature trail. It's well maintained. There are benches, there are signs. Granted, there's not a lot of signs, but yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's a straight shot through the woods and extremely flat. There's really good road access. Comorn Rd has parking area. What was the other one? Indiantown Rd had a really good one. And of course, the west end where I'm headed, there's actually an old caboose and boxcar there, right at the parking area. So it's obvious in a lot of ways, and it's extremely hidden in others. And despite all the permit, you know, there's some places I've seen signs where, you know, private property, no trespassing, permit holders only, blah, blah, blah. And other places I've seen no hint of that. So, you know, locals would certainly be excused if they just came out and used it. So, it's a nice trail. And it's a shame. Yeah, I don't know what's keeping it from being sort of just open. For all that, I saw one guy on a mountain bike up near the neighborhoods where I started. Other than that, I haven't seen a soul. I've been out here by myself all day. And it's a Friday, you know, work day, but it's beautiful. I would have thought. Anyway, it's a great place. Get your permit. I'll put the link below. Come on out and enjoy it if you're local. It's a really, really nice trail, particularly miles, I'm going to say 6 through 11, maybe 5 through 11, right there in the middle. It's like you're in the middle of nowhere. You get out of sight and out of sound of the road. You get up into those wetlands. It's got a really remote feel, and it's just gorgeous. So, yeah, Dahlgren Railroad Heritage Trail. Come out and try it. Two railroads diverged in a wood. Pretty neat. Points are even here. Looks like it's like just a parking spur. Doesn't look like this siding goes very far. I take it back. I think looks like there was actually double track through here. And I'm just walking on the side that's been torn up. Yeah, and the picnic area halfway through. Here's another one. I'm at the west end. Fire pit, grill. This is nice. But yeah, I forgot to mention that one halfway through was really nice. Really cool. And there you go. Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac. That's pretty cool. And I swear this gate was closed when I got here this morning. I had to park outside it. So there you have it. The Dahlgren Railroad Heritage Trail in King George, Virginia. Go get your permits. Check it out. Get out there. See ya.